Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2.
Testing, testing, 1 2.
Okay, there we go. God damn, I done figured some shit out. Okay, we didn't hit the goddamn jackpot. I done figured some shit out finally. I can hear myself. It's a motherfucking miracle. What they do is your boy King David in the motherfucking building. I know I've been gone a little while, man. You know how it is, man. You know how it is when you're working. You know how it is. I done finally made it, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I had to figure some shit out, some technical difficulties. We're 10 minutes into the stream. Y'all been listening to dead air. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know how your boy do, man. Your boy be fucking up with the technology. I guess I'm getting old. I guess I need to go to sleep somewhere. I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? But fuck all that. I'm here. I see my guy G Parker was here in the motherfucking building. Shout out to you, G Parker, man. I know you done stepped out. You was waiting for your boy to get his shit together, man. Appreciate you though, G. Yeah, man, been MIA. The facts guy was also in the building. Shout out to you, my boy. Was looking to get shit straight. You know what I'm saying? I was handling some technical difficulties, but again, we are here. Good goddamn, we are here. What they do? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, let's go ahead and talk some good boxing, man. We just got through with a fight here. AJ versus Alexander Usyk went down today. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of the biggest fights of the year, even though, it wasn't a fight that most of us were too excited about. You feel me? It wasn't a fight that most of us were too excited about, but the fight did go down. It was a good fight. And I think one thing that most of us can say is that this fight turned out nothing like most of us expected it to actually go. You know what I'm saying? I think most of us had AJ winning this fight. I think most of us felt like that was how it was going to go. I think AJ, most of us felt like AJ was the bigger guy. He was the stronger guy. He was the longer guy. And if he utilized those gifts the way that he should have utilized those gifts, then he should have been able to win the fight. Not saying it would have been an easy fight because Alexander Usyk is indeed the truth. But that said, I think AJ should have been able to come away with the win. All that said, you know what I mean? But nevertheless, the fight ended in a way that none of us suspected it would go. Alexander Usyk ended up dethroning AJ, taking 3 of his belts, okay, and cruising to a unanimous decision, man. And all we can really say at this particular point is congratulations to Alexander Usyk for taking control of the fight and for beating a guy in Anthony Joshua, who is at very least, you could say, a top 3, maybe top 4 heavyweight in the division. And to me, has one of the best resumes in boxing. You know what I mean? So shouts out to Alexander Usyk. But let's talk shop though. Now that we done finally made it on the goddamn screen, let's talk shop. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is, as good as Alexander Usyk was, as good as his game plan was, as good as his boxing, as good as the boxing skills that he showed was, I think really it was more so about what AJ didn't do as opposed to what Alexander Usyk did. You know what I'm saying? So that said, Alexander Usyk came into the fight just a faster, quicker guy. He's coming up from a weight division. He's coming up from cruiserweight into heavyweight. Okay, this is a new division for him. Okay, he's scrappy. He's ready to go. Okay, he gets in the ring. This is a guy. You're Anthony Joshua, and this is a guy that you're getting ready to fight. And and just watching this dude, you can see that his skills are a level above you as AJ. You can see that his speed is on another level above you as AJ. And it really just, if you're AJ, the kind of game plan that you should come on the scene with really differs from what he actually came on the scene with. If you're AJ, man, if I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm cutting the ring off, man. I'm going towards the body. I'm slowing down the movement. Okay. I'm not trying to box this dude on the outside. I'm not necessarily box him on the outside because he is the longer dude. That he could have controlled that distance better. but I'm not necessarily trying to do those things. And when I'm trying, like I'm either on one end of the spectrum or I'm on the other end of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no in between. Either I'm on one end of the spectrum or on the other end of the spectrum. You know? So in the case of Anthony Joshua, his game plan was to fight Alexander Usyk like he's a 6'5", 6'6" guy like himself, you know. But the thing about it is, you can't fight dudes like that when you're that slow. You're that much slower. AJ, I mean, the speed disadvantage that AJ had going into the fight, it was glaring. AJ was severely lacking in speed when it came to Alexander Usyk, and it was glaring from the first bell. You know, it was glaring from the first bell. And if you're Anthony Joshua and you see that a guy is so much faster than you and so much more skillful than you, then it's up to you to be able to make the adjustment and say, okay, this dude is a better boxer than me, so let me go ahead and fight this guy. You know? All the best boxing trainers and all the tacticians, they know that you fight the boxer and you box the fighter. In this case, AJ was the fighter. Usyk was the boxer. He's the better boxer. So you fight the boxer. Okay, you cut the ring off. You throw a lot of punches. You corner this guy. You don't give him an opportunity to think. You don't give him an opportunity to pick his shots, because if he's able to do that, he's going to catch you. You don't give this dude an opportunity to do the things that he wants to do. All right. I mean, to me, AJ did almost everything wrong in this fight. Okay. He did so many things wrong. AJ was fighting at mid-range, which is like a Usyk range. So it's like you're the guy with the longer arms, but instead of you fighting at long range at a reach that's more comfortable to you, you're fighting at a reach that's more comfortable for Usyk. So you're fighting there at mid-range in the pocket instead of long range. And then you don't really move on the inside. You know what I'm saying? You don't really move in on the inside. You know, as far as like throwing body punches and things like that. Well, he wasn't really giving Anthony Joshua a clear passage to be able to fight on the inside. You know? So it was really pretty bad for AJ all the way, because you're dealing with this dude and you're trying to fight him at mid-range because he's controlling the distance. So he's keeping you at mid-range and you're not really utilizing your gifts. So you're not fighting from long range, and then you can't really get inside to be able to use your body shots. But that all really stems from cutting the ring off. That stems from cutting the ring off. That stems from being aggressive. That stems from throwing first and not waiting on your opponent. And that was something that AJ did 155%, you know? So, I mean, this to me, this was just a case of AJ doing everything wrong and Usyk doing everything right. I think in the second fight, AJ comes out with a better game plan, a game plan where he's cutting the ring off. He's being aggressive. He's looking to fight the boxer instead of trying to box the boxer. You know, when in this case, Usyk was the better boxer. You know what I'm saying? He does something where he's looking to do that. You know. And he'll have much more success going into a fight like that. You know. But this certainly by no means was this certainly by any means is not something that, or any kind of approach that you want to take to fighting somebody who's more skillful than you and who's quicker than you. You know? This would be like, to give you a good comparison, this would be like Marcos Maidana trying to outbox Floyd Mayweather. That's what this looked like to me. Like, why would Marcos Maidana sit in the pocket and try to outthink Floyd Mayweather in the middle of the ring? That's what this looked like. AJ is over there trying to trade jabs with Alexander Usyk like he's a welterweight, and it just doesn't work like that. It's not an ideal situation for somebody who's a better boxer than you, but also just a lot quicker with both their hands and their feet. What's going on with you, my boy? My guy Terry Smoot is in the building. Shout out to you, my guy. Said, where's my wrench? You know you got your wrench, boy. Says, salute Boxer Die. Drop the link. Let's talk. Yeah, man, we doing that today, man. We're going to spend some time together today, man. Let me drop that goddamn link for you. I got it. It's been a little while since I done been up on here. So we got to catch up. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Let me drop that link. There go that link for you, Terry Smoot. You know what I mean? You know I'm rocking with you, King. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Terry. Appreciate you. I know it's been a little while since your boy been on here, man. I know it's been a little while. I've been working. I've been working. You know what I'm saying? I've been working. You know. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I got another stream. I got another subject I need to talk about real soon. That's Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. We gotta discuss that. But I'm trying out this new service though. You know what I'm saying? Trying out this new service and seeing how it works. StreamYard, because I was using Zoom before, so this is a whole new experience for me. Terry Smoot, come through, my guy. Terry, what's
Yes,
going on?
sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me properly, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Boxer Die? You already know, like I've been missing you, for a while. Like, if you've been away from the YouTube game, but I know, real life, everything happens. I miss them streams, I miss them shows, all the little videos. I'm subscribed. I always have the bell notification. No, you always produce great content, but unfortunately today on these YouTube streets, man, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. We do live in America, right? Well, you live in America as well. So we understand the ramifications and the impact of this Joshua loss. I literally was in a chat and I was in a chat with I guess it was owned by like a Nigerian content creator. And then now because Joshua lost, even though he has of Nigerian descent and everything, they are now down talking and they're just going at Deontay Wilder when he hasn't even fought. He's not even fought. Like, how are you attacking a black American when it was Joshua who got beat by Usyk? I don't understand this now. Is there any way that you can explain this to me, Boxer Doc?
My guy, I'm that's surprising. Well, I wish I could say that's surprising, actually, now that I think about it, but it's not surprising. I think people go out of their way to blame and defame Deontay Wilder at every push and turn there is. Anything to discredit Wilder, that seems to be the agenda. I mean, what else can you say with these guys, man? I mean, the narrative gets crazier and crazier every day.
That's true, and it's just I've been seeing it now. Like I was just over there in a few. You basically, I'll be honest with you, and I don't. You got a good stream going. I want this to go go long on this Boxer Die because the UK is in flames right now. Joshua lost, and now you know how the protective community they're making like excuses like, oh, Alexander Usyk, he was really a tough opponent. Like Deontay Wilder, they're trying to put so many narratives now because the man lost. And you know how they got to protect him. But let's just be honest. Like, the man got whooped. And now they're really like, now people are saying, well, Deontay's going to lose to Tyson Fury for, a second time. I'm hearing so many narratives. But where are these narratives weeks ago? Like, but because Joshua just now lost, now you have to attack the Black American. Where's this coming from? I haven't heard Deontay's name being spoken about so much now, but I've been YouTube jumping from channel to channel now because Joshua took this loss. Now it's like free season to attack Deontay. So how is Deontay the loser in this when he doesn't box for another 2.5 weeks?
Absolutely, man. Dudes say whatever they can say in order to protect their favorite guy, and the AJ thing is no different. Luckily this isn't an undefeated AJ. So honestly, I feel like if AJ was undefeated, if he hadn't got knocked out by Ruiz, it would probably be 20 times worse than what you're hearing right now. But it never ceases. It doesn't surprise me, but it never ceases to amaze me the amount of slander that Deontay Wilder gets simply just for speaking for his people, simply just for being themselves, simply before being a heavyweight that has almost a 100% knockout ratio. Like,
Correct.
I mean, we could have a whole stream about that, bro. I did a whole stream about that, right? Deontay Wilder hate and Chris Colbert and all that bullshit, right? So like, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me, man. You know what I mean? But here we are talking about AJ, the guy who some people in the UK accused Deontay Wilder of ducking. Don't ask me how,
No,
but
I don't
some people.
understand how, but I mean, I didn't, and I didn't want to cut you off, Mr. Boxer Die. You already know.
No, go
I
ahead,
believe
bro.
your name.
Go ahead, cook.
No, oh no, my bad. I just believe that. I believe this was around the year 2018. It was around 2018 and around March or April. And here was the thing. I believe it was actually confirmed that Eddie Hearn had turned down the offer because remember, Deontay and Joshua did own the heavyweight division at that time, with Joshua having a majority of the belts, Deontay still holding on to the WBC. But remember, it was Eddie Hearn that turned down the deal because there was an initial offer that said that send Joshua $50 million and we could get it on. Now, here's the thing: as much as Joshua fans will like to try to ride or try to make lies about Deontay, Eddie Hearn actually confirmed, and you can go to Boxing Scene. They confirmed that Deontay Wilder produced the $50 million that was asked. Now, the only question that was asked is, how do we know the funds are real? But if I could drop $50 million in your account, why are we questioning the validity of, if it's real or not, if it got into your account?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know the narrative I hear about that is, oh, there was like a time limit. He gave him like 48 hours or something like that. But if that's what you asked for and somebody's producing whatever it is you're asking for, then I don't get why I don't get this skepticism. The money's there. Like what? Why? 48 hours respond. Somebody said you got 48 hours to say whether or not you're gonna take this $50 million, and then we can discuss terms. Because I think what was put on the table is that terms were to be discussed after the fact, but they needed to accept the actual fight. Then I'm gonna take the goddamn money. So I mean,
Right.
you know, they come up with whatever excuses they want to
Yeah,
come up with. But
because no, you're
go ahead.
right. You're exactly right. I just know that they were looking for the financial terms, but and I'm pretty sure maybe Deontay had a little bit of help with developing the $50 million. But at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn even confirmed that the money was there. They just didn't know if it was valid. Like, how are you gonna make it valid? Like, if $50 million is in an account, we gotta assume that the money's valid. But that was the excuse they were running off of, saying that no Alabama man could have $50 million, things like that. But that lets you know that they were trying to underestimate Deontay to come up with the amount for Joshua. But the worst thing is that's why I said, like, Eddie Hearn has been confirmed and it's stated. He even said that the money is here, but how do we know it's real? But it's in a bank account. So banks will accept monopoly money?
Absolutely right, man. They try and they try and they try, but at the end of the day, AJ just took a loss to Alexander Usyk, and it wasn't even close. He got pretty much dominated by Usyk, and it's like the whole heavyweight division now is in disarray, and we're that much further away from undisputed, you know. And honestly,
I don't think so. I don't think so. If you can let me just say one real quick
no,
thing
go
before I
ahead,
finish
go
my
ahead, say
logic.
your piece. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say this. I think Usyk will not do. I'm gonna have faith in Usyk like I will with Cambosis dealing with Teofimo, because I hear so much of the talk like, I will fight the Devin Haney's, I will fight the champions of the division. Now Usyk is Olympic gold medalist. He was also undisputed at cruiserweight. I'm pretty sure he's not ducking smoke once he left cruiserweight. He's been bidding at the chop for his chance. So here's my thing. Now that he has the majority of the belts, I'm pretty sure that he's just watching out for what's going on with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Although there is a rematch clause, my next question is: this was only supposed to be a WBO mandatory fight. How are you having a rematch clause when this was only supposed to be a WBO mandatory? But that goes beyond saying. I feel like, and I hope that Usyk just doesn't play the Joshua game. If you're talking about really unifying and becoming undisputed within the heavyweight division, please, like, after these next 2 weeks, once Fury and Wilder, once they do battle and whoever wins, just please do not duck that. That's all I'm saying, because he talks so good about how he wants to do the same thing at cruiserweight. Just don't change that energy, if you understand, sir.
Oh, I really hope that that's the case, man. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't have a whole lot of faith in these guys these days. They say one thing and then they turn around and do a whole nother thing. So, I mean, we can hope for the best, but I mean, prepare for the worst, right? That's how the saying goes. So, I'm just gonna sit back, sip my little my little vodka or wherever it is, and then try to watch what happens and try not to get triggered by whatever the result is that I don't like. you know. So but one thing I'll say though, man, as far as like AJ is concerned, bro, like I kind of like the thing about it is AJ knew very much, he was very privy and very much aware of what was going on with the whole arbitration situation with Deontay Wilder. So what he tried to do is he tried to like slither his way into that Fury fight, and this ends up kind of like kicking him in the ass, because if you think about it, AJ has been out of the ring for what, almost a year now. It's been
Yeah,
because
it
he's
was.
been trying to get
I
this
think
Fury fight.
I think it's 10. I think it's 10 and a half to 11 months since that Kubrat Pulev fight.
Absolutely. And really, he could have had another fight prior to this fight, and it probably would have made him more prepared for this Alexander Usyk fight. But as a result, he's been out of the ring and been inactive, and now here he is taking this loss to Usyk, thinking about how to do better in the rematch. So AJ, I kind of, I really blame him for a lot of things right now. That's kind of transpiring right now.
Now,
With this.
there's one thing I do, and I apologize, Mr. Boxer, to keep cutting you off,
Go
but
ahead, bro.
no, it wasn't that. I was also sipping a little bit while watching this fight, and then once I got yeah, I mean, my scorecard, I was trying to be generous. I had it 7-5 to Usyk, but let's just be honest. Everybody or majority of people that I've been listening to, I was just trying to be generous only for the champion, but I still had Usyk winning. But I
Hmm.
heard everybody say it was really like 8-4, 9-3. Let's just be honest. Like, I understand Joshua, you got to try to give him some benefit of the doubt, but there are reports coming out that he has a broken orbital socket, which is something that's interesting. Like, I guess a lot of that stuff's been going on in the UK. Daniel Dubois, Kell Brook, Billy Joe Saunders, and now Joshua. Like, is this now the trend to like break their eye sockets?
Yeah,
But
what the hell?
it's just when this is going on, and it's just everything online right now. You're starting to see the Joshua fanboys, and there's a channel, and it's called Lady Chan. Lady Chan actually kicked me out because she said that I had Joshua disrespect when I never cursed at her. I never cursed at all, but she didn't like the disrespect for Joshua losing. This is
Oh
what we've
no,
come to
that's
now.
that's weak. Nah, that's weak. I'm not kicking nobody off my stream unless they start saying some crazy racist shit. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
Or
no.
or it's
I'll,
just
I'll
or they won't go
I,
ahead.
I, I was gonna say I'll send you a screenshot, privately, and you'll even see it said I called Joshua McDonald's bum, like Adam Sandler and what's that, Big Daddy? He called
Yeah.
uh, he called that individual McDonald's bum. I never even cursed, and I got kicked off of stream because they called it Joshua disrespect, but I mean the man. So I didn't want to take up too much of your time. You're having a great stream. I'm just letting you know, like, on these YouTube streets, you got real Joshua hardcores, and it's like, bro, I thought we were just a fan of the sport, but we could really see that people are a fan of the boxer.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure, bro. The fanboy shit is real, man, and and that's it. And it's easy to identify them. The guys don't even, the fanboys don't even want to like be covert anymore. Like it used to be, where dudes would try to like hide their fanaticism and their fanboy behavior type shit, but they don't even try no more. They wear their fanboy shit on their shirt, for everybody to see, and they wear a fanboy hat, and they do a fanboy dance, and then they got jewelry. They got a big Cuban link gold chain that says fanboy on it. So the shit is crazy, man. Like it's for real. The shit is crazy out here, man, with these fanboys, and it's like, yo, you it serves no one when you celebrate a fighter over the sport,
right.
because all they're gonna do is run around and avoid people and do the bare minimum in order to collect a check at the end of the year. It's part of what's wrong with boxing. You know what I'm saying?
No,
For sure.
I feel you 100%. And no, I just before I jump out of the stream, Boxer Dyer, I believe her name is Mr. King David. Hey, you got great content. I've subscribed to the channel. I got the bell notification. You already know. This is a good topic, but I was just gonna say, possibly after this stream that you have it, start looking around, like, on what people, the reactions and responses, and you'll even see there's a lot of protection for Joshua, and people are now trying to give validity to Usyk and everything else like that while putting Deontay down. And I'm like, the man hasn't even fought. How are you bringing a man into this and talking about, well, Deontay's a bum. Deontay lost to, but come on, you see what I mean? Like, you're talking about a cruiserweight. At least you're talking about a man in Tyson Fury who beat Klitschko. He beat
Right.
Klitschko. Like, come on. And then you're gonna down talk that for Joshua. And I hate to say it, there's a lot of African hate towards African Americans.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see it. So,
Oh man, you bringing up a whole, you opening up
I
a whole can of worms right now. You
no,
realize that?
I know I didn't want to do this, but that's why I said let me jump off now because I'm seeing it right now. I was on, she's over there in the UK, but the immigration thing, like they're more some Nigerians, other kind of Africans over there, but it's just a whole protection for Joshua for losing. Like at the end of the day, he lost, but you're willing to throw Deontay under the bus, but willing to protect Joshua for his second loss. So you know what, I gotta gracefully bow out because I don't even know what to do now. But I'll say this: you got a great stream and you got a great show, sir. I would not try to take away from it. Keep going. I'm gonna just listen in on the background, but keep going, Boxer Die. I'll bow out, but I'm gonna keep listening. But have a great rest of your night, and we'll dialogue a little bit later, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, Terry, man. Take it easy, man. Thanks for joining your boy here on the show, man. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, man, we're gonna get some more into this AJ versus AJ takes another loss, man. Another loss, bro. Like another one, and all before he fights Deontay Wilder. He takes another loss, and and you know what? And I don't want to come off like, oh, losing is terrible. You should never lose as a boxer. The fact of the matter is, there's very few fighters that go through the sport without taking a loss. Everybody takes a loss. It's normal to take a loss, But I think the problem is when you take losses, you take losses after you kind of avoid certain people and then you end up taking losses as a result of that. I feel like that's a huge issue. But we got a visitor here. Big UK fam. Come on through, my guy. Come on through.
Yeah,
Big UK
man.
fam, man. How you doing, bro?
BDT, man. What's going on, man? That's what I'm saying. You okay, fam?
Yeah, man. I'm good, bro. How about yourself, man? How you living over there?
Cool in the gang, man. Everything's sweet. I'll just watch the AJ fight against Usyk, man. That AJ. Like, I'm in the UK myself, not far from London. Listen, bro. Disappointed in him, man. Very disappointed, man.
Yeah. What do you think that he could have done in order to be more successful in the fight?
Not a damn thing. That guy was outworked, out hustled. I had it 10 rounds to 2. This man's was coming up from cruiserweight and he was beating that guy down. You're a big guy and you're coming out there like a fucking pigeon, bro. He's coming out there on his toes like a pigeon. You're a big guy, right? You're 30 years old. This man is 34, 35, Usyk. Yo, listen, done with all that garbage, man. He was avoiding Chisora. He said he didn't want to fight Chisora. You got Fury, who was ducking AJ, this clown guy, and didn't want to fight him. Listen, these men are not to the same level as Lennox Lewis, bro. The complete frauds, man.
No, not at all. Lennox Lewis, the one of the greats, man. Absolutely nowhere near that level.
Yeah.
But I actually disagree with you when you said there's nothing he could have did. I think you said it a little bit. You said it like he was on his toes, like fighting in the middle of the ring, like he's a welterweight and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a big problem with that because if you're AJ and you're about 2-3 inches bigger than this guy, you got way more mass, you got way more power.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you trying to sit in the middle of the ring and exchange with this guy instead of fight him, cut the ring off, get him into a corner, and be aggressive with him?
Facts.
Why not try to Vladimir Klitschko this guy a little bit, rather than sit there in the middle of the ring and try to exchange jabs with him like you're Floyd Mayweather or some shit,
Yeah.
So I think AJ came out with a completely horrible game plan, and Usyk took advantage of it and literally just cruised to what looked to be a very easy unanimous decision.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I just think that he came out with that sort of British mentality that we have through boxing, that he was going to stick and move and try and box him from the outside. You're not going to do that against the whole planet,
Mm-hmm.
So my take on it is that, listen, this guy should have been a bit more adaptive and a bit of like plasticine or clay. You can mold it in your hand. He must have saw this Usyk guy 1,000 times. What the hell, man? It's not a jigsaw puzzle. You've seen him. He was in the same Olympics in 2012, was it?
Mm-hmm. He was.
What are you doing? I just don't understand. He came out there like some sort of moron. He did, though. Why are you not coming out there to blast that guy out? It's 36 minutes of a fight. Now, listen, I'm 51 years old. I'm an old guy. 51 years old, I can still stick a move on my feet for 36 minutes, and I got type 2 diabetes. You telling me this man AJ can't do that? Come on, bruh. I'm disappointed in that guy, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're in the prime of your life. You're muscled up to the Rex, bro. And this man's is coming out there. What the hell was he doing? It's only 3 minutes around. Sorry.
No, you're good, bro. You're good, man. I really don't feel like he game planned for this at all. It doesn't. If he did, I don't know what the fuck who thought about this game plan, because it logically doesn't make sense that you're trying to stand in the middle of the ring and exchange jabs with a guy who has faster hand and foot speed than you, and you're about 20-30 pounds heavier, 3 inches taller, and way stronger than this guy. So I don't know where they got this from. I mean, the thing about AJ is, he pretty. I mean, he normally fights guys like that, right? And he's normally successful when he fights guys like that. But they're normally not. There's normally not this big of a speed difference between them. So that's where I think it really went wrong.
But I've been watching boxing for years, like back to the 1980s, and a lot of these guys nowadays, they don't want to get dirty. They don't want to manhandle people like Muhammad Ali or Foreman used to. They don't want to do it like Larry Holmes used to. Evander Holyfield used to do it. He used to have Mike Tyson. Even Tyson used to try and bat people up and manhandle them.
Right.
These guys now, they live in this offset generation where it's all on social media or on the internet talking big and all this shit. Well, you're in the ring with a guy who's 6'2", and you're backing off. You on drugs, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not the way to. This is not the internet. This is a fight. You're in a fight with a guy, bro. I'm not very happy with him, and I don't think he will ever return. He has done and had the success that he's had against certain individuals, and he's done this, that, and the other. I've always said the last great heavyweight was Lennox Lewis, and there's been nobody since, and there won't be another Lennox until I'd say about 2040, 2050. We won't see another Lennox.
Wow. Well, let me ask you, Big UK, what do you think happens in the rematch? Because we know that they got a rematch clause, and it's going to happen probably either beginning of next year, something like that. What do you think happens in a rematch?
It's going to be interesting. I think Anthony Joshua will learn from the rematch. I think he will actually adapt a different style from that. It depends where the rematch happens. So we'll have to see. I think Joshua was quite adaptable to a rematch. So it's a very difficult thing with Anthony Joshua because it's hard to criticize him. It's hard to be nasty because he says that he's learning and he has started late in his career. Fury ducked him. So Fury could have fought AJ, paid off Wilder the 7 million and fought him. So what's Fury scared of? Do you know what I mean? I'm a realist in boxing. I've always been a realist. I've always tried to keep it 100 in boxing. So he could win the rematch. Oh, 100%.
Okay, you think he could win the rematch? That's cool. I was
Yeah.
talking to somebody earlier. They said he had no shot. I was like, he definitely
No.
has a shot if he comes in with the right game plan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're a true boxing fan like me and like you, when you start writing people off from the start, you got a problem.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially somebody as talented as AJ, he could definitely come back. Because I think a lot of people wrote him off when he had lost to Andy Ruiz. They said that he
Yeah.
was done. So now that we're looking at another loss, and he has another opportunity to try to, erase this loss. But we'll see what
Mm.
happens.
Do you know what I love? Do you know what I love about him? I love the fact that he's had these losses, but it doesn't necessarily make him open to another loss because he's obviously learning from a lot of these losses.
hmm Yeah, he's definitely learning. Like a lot of people said that he didn't like necessarily look good, but I thought he looked good employing, the kind of style that he normally employs. Like
Mm-hmm.
normally that's AJ, that's his style, and I thought he looked sharper than how he normally looks. So he was prepared for the fight. For me, I'm going back to that game plan. I think it was a atrocious game plan for it. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to lose the fear. He's lost once, he's lost twice now. It's not the fear of losing which is his problem. And I've grown up around all races and creeds and colours. It's not the fear of losing which is AJ's problem. It's the fear of looking bad and getting not and getting. He has to remember he's in the fight game and he's fighting for a living. The next fight, if I was him, I'd go hell or mercy to knock the next guy out.
Mm.
Do or die. Because you're not going to beat God. You're not going to, a human being's never going to replace the other human being that went before you. He's not going to be better than Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali has been on the floor and got knocked out. AJ needs to stop worrying and let his fists go. Let his fists go. If he lets his fists do the talking instead of his brain, he would have beat that guy tonight.
Mm.
It's his own fault. It's his own fault. It's in his own mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I
Hmm.
think so too. And let me ask you this. How do you think Usyk now? Usyk is now he's now become the guy of the division now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think he does against the other two heavyweights, Wilder and Fury?
Yeah, this is impossible to answer, and I had a feeling you would ask me this. I'm a bit worried to ask this, but I will answer it. I think Wilder's very underrated. He lost that first fight. I said that he was underrated. He clipped Fury in the first round, had him wobbling, and then went in the seventh round when people thought that Wilder was completely out of it. He missed Fury by inches with a right and a left combination that would have knocked him out. So, wow. Interesting. I think the Fury Wilder rematch is a 50-50, and this is not a given.
Fury Wilder's 50-50 with
Yeah,
both.
the,
Yeah.
the rematch is more 50-50 than the last one.
Mhm. Well, I was meaning as far as Usyk versus both of them. Like, how do you think Usyk does in a fight with Fury, and how do you think he does in a fight with Wilder at this point?
Wow. I think the Wilder fight is 50-50 because they're near the same age. Usyk against Fury will all depend on the tactics from Fury's team if they're going to manipulate Usyk in terms of the promotion. Usyk's still with Hearn, right? Is he still with Hearn?
I believe he is. I believe he is with Eddie Hearn. I think so. I could be mistaken about that. I haven't done any research, but I remember hearing that.
He needs to put he needs to put all his eggs in one basket, and if he's going to fight Fury, then he has to put all his eggs in one basket and probably go with Hearn on that. So, listen, Fury's never defended the title. I love him, but he's never defended the title. He's never done much apart from an old man Klitschko, and he beat Wilder in a rematch. What can I say? Really, we need to see the third Fury. It's all down to him now in terms of the third fight with Wilder, and I think that's a 50. That's going to be a hard fight.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough fight. That's that's why Fury up has been spending millions of dollars trying to avoid this fight. Right, he was trying to go straight to AJ and then kind of bow out of the third fight. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, it's because it's a waste of time. It's this, it's that." Well, the fact of the matter is if it was an easy fight, he probably would have fought Wilder last year in July when the original rematch, right? So obviously he's not too keen on this fight for a reason. He knows it's going to be tough, and it's going to be a great fight for boxing fans. Because I've been looking forward to this myself. This is probably going to be the fight of the year right here.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Let me ask you this, AJ. If AJ loses again to Usyk, what happens? Where does he go from there? What happens to AJ? What does he do?
Yeah, I think if he loses the rematch to Usyk, his only option is going to be domestic. So he'd have to wait till Fury loses and probably have a fight with him. Dillian White might be an option for him. I think Anthony Joshua has done the model that Hearn wanted. He's made so many hundreds of millions of pounds that they've made the money that they had to make. I don't agree with it myself. I'm not a Hearn matchroom guy. I'm more sort of Warren and people like that. I'm more a DDD guy, Daniel Dubois and all these guys. I just think that whatever he does, he's made his money. He doesn't really. He's a bit like Conor McGregor now. You're not going to get up and train if you're in silk pajamas,
Right. It's tough. It's tough to stay hungry when you're flying a helicopter to the gym.
That's it. It's like that's what Marvin Hagler said before he retired and he went to Italy. He said it's difficult to wake up if you wear silk pajamas. So, and to be honest with you, people like Hagler, Leonard, all these guys, Felix Trinidad, Wilfred Benitez, Roberto Duran. If you go back to people like Monzon, and these guys used to fight, Jose Napoles, Aaron Pryor, used to have all these guys in the 80s that they actually used to fight, but I don't think these guys today, they have 20 or 30 fights and they're wearing the silk pajamas, but they don't deserve the silk pajamas.
Right. Absolutely. Oh, looks like we got another visitor, Terry Smoot. Come on through, Terry. What's going on with you? Welcome back to the stream, man. You couldn't get enough, could you, Terry?
I'm just going to put myself on mute because I have to go to the petrol station for about half an hour. I will see you all in a bit.
Okay, no
no,
problem.
I wanted him to stay on real quick. If it's
yeah.
I can ask you just a few questions before you leave.
Yeah, I'll be on, but no, it's okay.
I was gonna say, can I just ask you just two questions, just real quick? Just in
yeah.
regards to this, just because of this fight and the magnitude of it, um, uh, how do
Yeah,
you feel about? I mean, I understand that you feel like because of this loss, like if Joshua were to lose again, he might be relegated to a domestic level. My only
yeah.
thing is in regards to this, how do you see Joshua's career overall? Like, do you still see him Hall of Fame worthy because he does have that good name of Klitschko? He also has Joseph Parker,
Mm,
Charles Martin. He has a few. He does have some notable wins under his record, but considering
no.
how. Oh, okay. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, I don't have him. He's obviously going to be Hall of Fame because any heavyweight who's unified or has anyone who's unified or has 3 or 4 defenses is going to go to the Hall of Fame anyway. But for me, he needs one more name on his resume as a win.
Okay. No, no,
So
no. That
yeah, yeah.
no. That's a great. I love that answer. No, I agree with you. My next thing is let's just
Mm-hmm.
say if you were Joshua, there are reports that are coming out that he possibly has suffered an orbital bone fracture, which is a fracture to the eye
Yeah,
socket.
yeah. I've been speaking to one of his friends. I'm on Facebook. I know one of his friends that went to school with him, and he's still at hospital at the moment. But I think he's not at the moment. Let's have a look. He was discharged 2.5 hours ago.
Okay, so it
From
might be so. I was
yeah.
thinking
Well,
it
what's
might be
he
like.
got? What
Oh,
has he
go ahead.
got?
Go ahead.
Orbital bone fracture. They're saying.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. So my
Hmm.
question is, would you want to
That's
go into yeah, and I think the recovery time is around 4ish months. Similar to what
oh,
happened with Billy Joe Saunders, Kell Brook, and also Daniel Dubois. I believe
mm,
those are some famous UK people that have had similar said injury. Would you want
yeah,
to go into a rematch? Knowing that you have that, it is a serious injury, because it can affect vision and everything. Would you want to be
yeah.
open to? Would you want to go into a rematch and an immediate rematch within the next 6 months? Because you gotta.
Nah,
Oh shoot. Okay.
like yeah, he's gonna get smashed, man. If he goes into immediate rematch, in that fight, like I've never had an orbital bone injury myself, but I used to box at Joe Egan's gym, who used to be Mike Tyson's main training partner back in the day. Like in my 50s now. And I used to see a lot of people used to have orbital bone fractures and get clipped this, that, and the other. Listen, is that true? He's got an orbital bone fracture in his eye.
There's multiple reports that have been coming out on. If you just type in on YouTube, like if you type
Wow.
on YouTube, Anthony Joshua I, and then if you come to like up to date, like
Mm.
the upload date, like which would be within today, you'll start to see
Yeah.
multiple videos that have said that or stated that Eddie
Holy
Hearn is saying that.
Christ.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn has said that he has a serious eye injury, which is looking
That
like
man's is
him.
done. That
Yeah.
that man's is done. Like, listen, if man's is getting his eye fractured up and shit like that, listen, you get sucked in the eye, man. Boy, to get fucking way in the eye, you're done, bro. So if he's got his eye mashed up, if that man's has got his eye mashed up and he's getting metal in it and shit like that, he's done.
He would essentially most likely have to do the Kell Brook or the Kell Brook. He has I believe a little bit of pieces of titanium because what happened with Daniel
Yeah,
Dubois with Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce kept hitting him with that jab and
yeah,
eventually
yeah.
his eye gave up. But according to certain reports, I've been seeing it. If you want to look at it yourself, you could type in Anthony Joshua eye, and I'm pretty sure you'll find
Yeah, I'm
videos
gonna
that are
look,
up.
man. I'm gonna be here. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna go. I'll still stay alive. This guy doesn't get rid of me. I'll just have to go to the petrol station to fill my car up, fam. But listen,
Oh,
if this guy has got his eye mashed up and he's got titanium and metal in it, he's done, bro.
no. So you think this might be like the beginning of the end of Anthony Joshua?
The beginning of the end is not a beginning. The beginning is the end if he's got metal in it.
Oh
I'm
shoot!
gonna
I
go,
like this
bro.
man. I like this
Yo,
man. You're a
wait.
good man. I like
You
this
like
one.
me?
He's a good one. He's a good one. He's at least he's
I'm
keeping it
white.
real
You
though.
do know I'm white, by the way. I'm a white guy.
I was actually no. I'll put it like this. I was actually speaking in a chat earlier with another individual.
Yeah.
She's of African descent, but I believe she's out there in the UK. And so what they were doing, they're
Yeah.
having like a protection session because of Anthony Joshua, like because they're of Nigerian descent. And so all I
Yeah.
said was that I just said that he's a McDonald's bum. I didn't curse, never said curse words. I called Anthony
Oh
Joshua
shit.
McDonald's bum, and then I was told I got lies spread on my name saying that I called him a B word. I said this, and then another individual who read the chat, he ended up saying that no, this dude Terry, he's my brother. He didn't even say that, but then she said, and she admitted, she said that I'm just not here for the Anthony Joshua disrespect. So I'm like, bro, is this a fan club or a witness protection agency that's out here for Joshua losing? So no, I respect you, sir. Like that's all I wanted to jump in, just ask you some questions, but not trying to deter from the conversation you and Boxer
Nah,
Die
bro.
having. I just wanted to, just if you're out there, on the, I guess it's what they call across the pond. If you're across the pond, I
Yeah,
just want to
man. I'm in
like,
the casino. I'm in the casino at the moment, so I gotta go and check on my car. But leave me on there. I'll be back in 10 minutes, man. Be back.
yeah. Take your time. You're cool. Take your time, sir. My bad,
Yeah,
Boxer. I just wanted to ask some questions. Like, hey, this is a great video, bro. Keep going, guys. I'm gonna bow out gracefully. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Boxer Die.
Man,
thank
no
you.
problem, man. It's a pleasure having both of you guys on here. And yeah, you can go ahead and mute. I'm gonna be on here for a little minute, man. I'm gonna cook it up. It's been a little while since I've been online, and I've been on hiatus, working and doing things. So, I'm back now. So I'm gonna spend some time with the fam. Y'all are fam, man. The boxing fam. I'm gonna make sure I spend some time with y'all today, and we're gonna talk about this AJ loss to Alexander Usyk because a lot of people, hey man, there wasn't a whole lot of people who called it like that AJ was gonna lose. I know I was going for AJ. I thought AJ was gonna win this fight, but you know, shit, that's why we watch the sport, right? Because we want to see what the fuck happens, and we saw what happens. We saw AJ take a loss, and I think this loss, you know, I think it really like shakes up the sport, in the fact of it shakes up the sport because really what it is we begin to understand, and we always understood, as a matter of fact. I'll say it like this: is the fact is when fights don't happen when they're supposed to happen, okay, this type of shit happens. People lose. It happens all the time in boxing, and the biggest fights don't happen as a result of it. So we avoid these big fights, and then we get into these other fights, okay, and fights that are perceived to be easier than the bigger fights that everybody wants to see. And guess what? We end up taking losses. Not saying that Alexander Usyk is a pushover or he's a scrub or anything like that, but everybody wanted to see the Wilder fight. Everybody wanted to see the Fury fight. And for whatever reason, politics got in the way of those fights. And when that happens, we lose as boxing fans. So here we are once again talking about Anthony Joshua loss to Alexander Usyk. So now, where do we go from here? So now, Alexander Usyk is now the guy at the division. He's now taking AJ's place. If he can turn around and beat AJ in the next fight, he's the guy at the division. So now we have to trust that Alexander Usyk is going to fight one of the other two, the winner out of Wilder versus Fury. Now we have to rely on that happening because that would be the big fight of the division, right? But at this point in boxing, man, we got no faith that any of these fights are going to happen when they're supposed to happen. The next fight is supposed to be the winner of Usyk Joshua 2 or Usyk Joshua 2 and Wilder Fury 3. That should be the next fight next year. But are we going to get it? I mean, as boxing fans, unfortunately, we have nothing to look forward to there because there's just no guarantees in this sport. No guarantees in the sport that we love. You know what I mean? So that's all there really is to it, man. So But yeah, man. But yeah. See if we can jump back in this fight, man. See if we can jump back in this fight, man. 'Cause this was a real entertaining fight, man. This was a real entertaining one, you know. Even though the AJ disappointment is there, I think we can all agree that this was a good fight. And it was entertaining for as long as it lasted, but it's definitely not the result that we wanted. But this was an entertaining fight, you know. The one I'm really looking forward to is Wilder versus Fury 3. I think the result of that fight is really going to put things in perspective. And I once again, I think the heavyweight division is going to be put on its back once again, based on the result of that fight. And this one. This one has already upset the balance of things, but Wilder Fury, that's really also going to be a very, very determining fight, or a very crucial fight for the heavyweight division. Because if Tyson Fury wins, that displaces Wilder from the heavyweight picture. And then Tyson Fury, we have to rely on Tyson Fury to jump in the ring with the winner of AJ versus Usyk. But I think just like Big UK was saying, Tyson Fury literally has like one title defense, you know. The guy has one title defense. You know, he fought Vladimir Klitschko, didn't give Klitschko a rematch, retired, had mental health things. I mean, if somehow, some way Tyson Fury comes out on top throughout this whole heavyweight exchange, can we rely on him to do what champions do, which is defend the belt? And I don't think that's going to be the case. You know, I'm just really not feeling this whole era of boxing right now, where dudes don't want to defend their titles and they don't want to reign in their divisions. You know, if for whatever reason Tyson Fury comes out on top here, I mean, I want to see him fight all the guys coming up. I want to see him fight the big babies. I want to see him fight the Ajabes. I want to see him fight all those guys. The only person right now at this point that I could count on to do anything of the sort would be Deontay Wilder. Everyone else, I'm not so sure about. You know? You know what I mean? Everybody else, I'm not so sure about. So, you know, we'll just see. We'll just see. You know, man. We'll just see. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Yeah, man. Been a little minute since I've been on here, man. I might have to do a whole stream about Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. That's gonna have to happen. For sure, for sure. That's definitely gonna have to happen. But this AJ thing is definitely taking precedence right now, because this is big for boxing right now. Alexander Usyk really kind of surprised me. Like, I knew he had boxing skills. I knew Usyk had boxing skills, but the way he comprehensively outboxed AJ, you know, I think says a lot about the level of skill that he does have. You know, because that was a comprehensive boxing lesson what he gave to AJ. It really was. You know, he made AJ he made AJ very uncomfortable. He controlled the distance the entire time. You know, like I was saying earlier. All right. He made AJ think in there way more than he should have thought. You know, he did everything a guy who's smaller should do to a guy that's bigger. You know, he gave AJ angles. He used lateral movement. He used effective counter punching. You know, he just really, really took away things from AJ. You know, as much as I feel like AJ's game plan was lacking, I feel like Usyk's game plan was on point. I feel like his game plan was truly amazing, you know, and you know, as a result, he got the victory, you know, and he made it look easy. He made it look easy. You know what I mean? So, I mean, once again, congratulations to Alexander Usyk, man, for coming away with the victory. Truly a comprehensive boxing lesson. Truly, truly. I don't see that style though. I don't see Usyk, and I've never I asked this question to some of the guests that we had on here, but I don't see Usyk being able to do that to anyone aside from AJ, and he shouldn't have been able to do that to AJ. Like I'm a proponent of AJ. If he's able to come back into the fight with a better game plan, I'm a proponent of him actually beating Alexander Usyk. I think if AJ cuts the ring off, you know what I mean? If he gets more aggressive, if he does these things, you know what I mean? I'm a proponent of AJ actually winning the second fight, you know. And I don't think that he uses Usyk uses the same game plan with Wilder. I think Wilder gives Usyk more range, more distance. I think Wilder keeps Usyk at the end of his jab. I think Usyk is forced to reach way more than he had to reach with AJ, because to me AJ was fighting at mid range instead of fighting at long range. You know what I'm saying? So look at that, my boy G Parker in the building. What's going on with you, G Parker? Yes, sir. You back in this thing? I hear you, fam, boy. I'll drop that link for you, fam. I'll drop that link for you, fam. Long time no see. Your boy back in the building. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, back on point. I was saying earlier that I don't think Usyk, and I asked this same question. Big UK says that he thinks Usyk and Wilder is a 50-50, a 50-50 ordeal. You know what I'm saying? And Usyk and Fury is a 50-50 ordeal, but I don't necessarily feel like those are 50-50 fights. As good of a boxer that Alexander Usyk is, I feel like a heavyweight coming in with a better game plan, I feel like beats him. You know what I'm saying? A heavyweight coming in with a better game plan beats him. You know, those are going to be my sentiments there, because Usyk is just a noticeably smaller guy. You know, he's a noticeably smaller guy. So it's like, why not use your size? When you 3 and 4 inches taller than somebody and you about 20, 30 pounds heavier than them, why not use your size? You're not going to be faster. You're not going to be quicker. So you use your strengths to your advantage. And that was one thing that AJ didn't do, but I feel like someone like Wilder, although he may not necessarily be much stronger than a Usyk, you know, even though Wilder is a stronger guy, I feel like he'd be able to utilize his advantages better as far as his range, because Wilder actually fights tall. So Wilder would have that Usyk coming from that long jab, and he would have that right hand firing, you know what I'm saying, like an arrow. And Tyson Fury would be utilizing his size more. Tyson Fury would be cutting the ring off. He'd be feinting a lot more. You know, he would be more aggressive than Anthony Joshua was in this particular fight. To me, Anthony Joshua, you know, he came into this fight with a completely bad game plan, and he ended up paying as a result of it. G Parker, what's going on with you, man? What's going on with your fan, Bam? How you been, bro? How you been, bro? My boy says salute to you, brother Terry Smoot. Yeah, man. Terry Smoot in the building, man, showing love out here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. You been good, bro? That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I know I ain't been on here in a minute, man. I'm using a whole new streaming platform. Have you noticed? I barely know what the fuck I'm doing on this shit, man. I ain't gonna hold you. This is a whole new streaming platform. So, you know, I'm trying it out. This is my first time trying it out. And I gotta say, I'm kind of liking it, man. I'm liking this StreamYard. You know, I'm rocking with it. This may be the thing moving forward, you know, because I was able to go live very easily. You know what I'm saying? On my other platform that I was using before, it was a little bit more work going live. Your boy had to jump through a few more hoops to go live. You know what I mean? But on this thing, I could schedule it out. I could do little things here and there, and I could work it out where, it's a lot easier to go live, man, and talk to y'all. So I'm appreciative, man. I'm trying this thing out, and I'm gonna try to be up here more often. You know what I'm saying? Your boy been working and all that. G Parker say, taking care of moms and holding it down. Yes, sir. I feel you, my guy. I feel you, my guy. That's what we do. We hold it down in this bitch. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You ain't on the road, G. I know you be on the road type shit, though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. That man money good. You upgraded. Hey, we do a little something here and there. You know what I mean? We do a little something here and there. You know what I'm saying? We make sure the house is taken care of. You know how it is. When I get ghosts, best believe though, I'm usually I'm on my grind. You know what I mean? That mean I ain't got time to be in front of no computer. That's usually what that mean. You know what I'm saying? That's usually what that mean. I ain't got time to be in front of no computer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here, and I'm have some announcements coming soon, man, for the channel, because the channel is growing, man. It was growing a lot before I kind of stopped, So I'm gonna have some new announcements coming for the channel, man, because I do want to get back on the grind, You know what I'm saying? But I want to get it back right. I want to make sure that I stay fly with it and keep it going type shit. So, so it's coming back. He probably say he just got back this morning. Just got in this morning. I hear you, bro. You be on the road, bro. I already know, man. You be on the road. Say less, bro. I already know. You heard? Yeah, man. Oh, you missed the fight, man? Yeah, you missed the fight, man. Oh, gee. I mean, it was a good fight, man. I mean, you ain't, I'm not going to say, wow, you missed a great fight. It was, I ain't going to say all that. I mean, it was a decent little fight. You know what I mean? It was decent. It was a good fight, I think the big thing to take away, though, is this was a big fight for boxing, considering what happened, I feel like a lot of people were expecting AJ to win, and he lost. You know what I'm saying? He lost. Yeah, man, And yeah, he didn't fight his fight, G, man. He fought Usyk fight. Everything Usyk wanted to do in there, he did. Everything Usyk wanted to do in there, he did. Usyk controlled the distance. Usyk controlled when the exchanges happened. Usyk controlled where the exchanges happened. Usyk controlled the pace of the fight. Usyk controlled everything. This was an Usyk fight. AJ fought Usyk fight. Everything that Usyk could have hoped for AJ to do in this fight, AJ did, bro. Like if Usyk went and if he got on his knees, right, and prayed for some shit, prayed for how he wanted the fight to go and how he wanted AJ to react to the fight. If Usyk could have asked, like if he had to do a list, you know what I'm saying? If he had to do a list for all the things that he wanted to see happen in this fight, I believe everything on that motherfucking list would have been checked off. You know what I'm saying? Aside from him maybe stopping AJ or something like that. You know? Usyk was Usyk, man. AJ's the bigger, stronger guy, the longer guy, but fought at mid-range. AJ's the bigger, stronger guy, but didn't cut the ring off, didn't put any pressure on Usyk. AJ was sitting in the middle of the ring like a welterweight, like Floyd Mayweather. He was sitting in the middle of the ring with Usyk. The smaller, quicker, faster guy, faster hands, faster feet. AJ was sitting in the middle of the ring with him, exchanging jabs with him. You know what I'm saying? That's my synopsis of the fight. That's how the fight went. That's how Usyk was able to completely and utterly control all aspects of this fight. Now, towards the later round, you know, AJ, I guess his corner kept it real with him, and they were like, listen, man, you losing this goddamn fight. You need to step it up and you need to do something. And around that time, he started to get a little bit more aggressive as the fight transpired. But all in all, man, I mean, you know, that at that point it's too little too late, because if you're AJ, your stamina isn't going to be able to hold up like that. Your stamina is not going to hold up like that. It takes a hell of a lot of energy just for you to throw one punch, because you got all that muscle mass and you're a big guy. So throwing one punch takes a hell of a lot more energy than it does for Alexander Usyk. So by that time, you on your last leg, and Usyk is just cruising by, because he's a smaller guy. He got stamina for days. You know what I'm saying? Because he's smaller and quicker. He ain't carrying around all that weight. Not only that, but he's controlling the pace of the fight. And when you control the pace of the fight, that means, fight move at your pace. So you can take little breaks here and there whenever the fuck you feel like. You feel me? So, I mean, there's a lot wrong with the situation. You heard me? G Parker say, I picked AJ to win. I thought he would catch him with that uppercut. It's shaking my head. Now I got to give props to Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Yeah, that's never a good thing, man, when you got to give Knockout props. Hey, when you gotta admit you were wrong, when you gotta tell Knockout you were wrong, that's never a good thing, man. Shout out to Knockout Boxing 86 TV, man. That's my guy over there, man. Anybody in the building, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to Knockout Boxing 86 TV. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he probably picked Usyk. You probably right, man. We probably gonna catch that video soon from him. Yeah, man. But I mean, he honestly, man, AJ didn't throw no damn uppercuts, though, G. He didn't throw no damn uppercuts. You know what I'm saying? AJ didn't throw no uppercuts in this fight. I don't remember seeing one. And the thing about it is, and I guess it's because he probably couldn't catch the timing in order to throw the uppercut. That more than likely was the reason. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't throw any. He could have at least threw out some to scare Usyk. But at no point did Usyk have to worry about an uppercut. G-Ball can say he did, bro. Also, he was throwing some uppercuts. You seen some uppercuts come out? Because I ain't really seen none, bro. I ain't really see him use that punch at all. I ain't really see him try to use no uppercuts, man. He didn't even try to scare like he was going to throw it. To me, I saw him standing in the ring. I saw him exchanging jabs. I saw him throw a few little check hooks, a few hooks here and there, But I ain't really see him throw no uppercuts, and he should have been throwing uppercuts galore, because every time Usyk has to step in to throw punches, and usually he's stepping in with his head down, so that usually accounts for some uppercuts. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Oh, G-Baka say, no, I was talking about Knockout Boxing 86 TV picking Usyk. Oh, okay. He did, bro. So he picked Usyk. Oh, man. You're going to put some video out talking about he right. I was right. He talk about his prediction record, and all that. So I know he gonna add this to his prediction record type shit. You know. Luckily I ain't do no prediction to this fight. I ain't do no prediction video. I actually didn't break this fight down. I just picked AJ to win. I mean, I'm admitting it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't have to admit it because I ain't do no prediction video, but I'm admitting that I picked AJ. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really break the fight down. Like I didn't even do no film study. I didn't really look at shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really had time to do that. Because if I would have did that, I would have probably picked Usyk. I would have probably picked him because I didn't really have his skill set being high enough to be able to do this to AJ. You know what I'm saying? Like this. I knew it was gonna be a tough fight, but I didn't really have his skill set being high enough to be able to just outbox the shit out of AJ like that. You know? I ain't really have it like that, but shit, it is what it is. I picked AJ, like a lot of people picked AJ. AJ took an L, and now AJ has to worry about going into a rematch fight with Usyk and hopefully not losing again because the possibility of him taking another L is real, 155%. The possibility of AJ taking another L is very real, man. And if he loses again to Usyk, I mean, if he loses to Usyk again, I just don't think there's a whole lot left for AJ's career. I mean, maybe you can go on and fight Wilder. If Wilder loses again, maybe we could. Maybe if Wilder loses to Fury in a third fight.
Jenna?
What?
No. Yeah, man.
Oh, you back? You back, big UK?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, man. Okay. Yo, I'm back here. Let me just get this one. Let me get this one on my headphones. Oi. Yo, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? What's going on with you?
Yeah, sweet, man. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Welcome back, man. Everything go well?
All good in the gang, bro. All good in the gang. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. All filled up on gas, huh?
Filled up on a bit of whiskey, bro.
Oh man, I'm about to join you in a minute, man. Actually, no, fuck. I ran out. I took my last shot earlier today, man. So now I'm about to make a run to the store.
Yeah.
G Parker says AJ's too robotic. AJ's too robotic, but he has devastating power. Yeah, man, I agree with that. He's gonna have issues. He's gonna have issues with guys that can move, stick and move, and that can box to the degree and the level of somebody like a Usyk. He's gonna have problems regardless, but I think his approach just altogether, I just think his approach was just horrible. I think next fight, if he goes in there and tries to fight this guy instead of box him, I think he has a much better result. I'm not saying that he wins for sure, but I think he has a much better result than he got in this one.
Yeah, I had a lot of thoughts of it while I was walking up to the shops and that, and I think that AJ's been an amazing ambassador for the UK. We're only a small island. It's the size of fucking half the size of Texas, and we've got a quarter of the population of America. There's a lot of guys here. We're all crammed together, so we live in a very small place. You know what I mean? So listen, I got a lot. I'm in my 50s now. I'm not a young guy, so I got a lot of respect for AJ. This guy's come from somewhere that he's probably living like me or living anyone else, stacked up in flats in a big city. Listen, this guy was a heavyweight champion. He's had a lot of defenses. He's done ever so well, you know. So I got utmost respect for him, but he needs to come back with some shit in this next fight. He needs to do something decent. Otherwise, he's going to get blasted out again. He's going to get killed, man.
Yeah. He needs to do something, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure. Man. But I do think the next fight is going to be a much better fight than this one was. You know, no matter how it turns out, I think it'll be a better fight.
I hope so.
We'll see, though. We'll definitely see. In the meantime, we got another fight to look forward to for next month, you know, and that's gonna be one barn burner, man. I'm really looking forward to that fight. I hope it doesn't get postponed or no bullshit happens, you know, in order to delay this fight again. Because it should have happened already. What, last month, right?
All right. Is that between?
Wilder Fury 3.
Yeah, man. That fight is. Do you want to know my opinion on that fight? I think it's going to be not what people think. Every time there's a trilogy in a lot of fights, Bo Holyfield. There's been a few other trilogies that I can't remember, but what was it? Duran against Sugar Ray Leonard. That was a trilogy, which went to Duran in the first fight, 14th round, and then you had the no mass, and then you had the Duran win over. Sugar Ray Leonard win over Duran in the last round by unanimous decision in the 90s. I don't think that this fight's a given. I don't think that Fury's looking good. He's looking fat. He's looking a bit like Nick Diaz. Are you watching this Nick Diaz thing with Robbie Lawler and shit like that?
Yeah.
Man's is looking fat, bro.
Yeah.
So I personally think my own take on that is that I wouldn't write off Wilder in that fight, to be honest. If you think Wilder's going to turn up, he's just going to fold over. These people are going to be, they don't know anything about boxing. So it's all right if you're in your 20s or 30s, you're a bit of a casual, but I'm in my 50s now. And I know for a fact that Wilder is not going to turn up for that rematch and just bowl over. I think that's a 50-50 rematch because Fury's looking fat as well. What are you going to do? 50-50 rematch. If Fury turns up fit and he's lean and he's focused, he will beat Wilder. But we all know that that doesn't pay the bills. You can be average as long as you're consistent. You're going to be the best. Consistency is key. Talent will only take you so far. If you're not consistent, it won't get you anywhere. So I personally think that I think Wilder's quite consistent. He does train. He does this. He does the other. I've not seen anything from Fury to suggest the otherwise. And now that AJ's got beat, wow, this is all open. It's all open gravy. It's all open gravy. This is everyone swimming around in this gravy. They don't know what's going on. Sorry for carrying on talking. I'll turn my camera off.
No, you good. You good, bro. No, you good. You all good, man. It's all good, man. For sure. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of Wilder's new training footage? Have you seen any of that stuff online?
Yeah, man. I've been watching a lot of the Malik Scott stuff. I was watching that today. I'm not overly impressed, but I'm not underly impressed as well.
Indifference.
I'm not indifferent to it. I just think that Wilder shouldn't have got Malik Scott. He should have got a high level trainer for that fight. And I'm not trusting Shelley Finkel. And I think Heyman should be advising him differently. I personally, do you want to know what I really think about Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put my camera on for it as well. I think he's being sold up the river by people trying to make money out of him. That's my opinion. I think there's some snakes in his grass. There's some snakes, and he doesn't see it because he's traveling up to New York. He's going up to the Bronx. Oh shit, I'm in the Bronx. Then he's going to Atlanta City. He's going to places like Kentucky. He's coming up from fucking Alabama, and oh my god, this is great. I'm fighting. I'm seeing guys here. This, that. Listen, I think Finkel's absolute scum for Wilder, and he needs to go. And I've said it. I've said it, and the same with Heyman as well. These two guys, they used to run a lot of concerts in New York City for a lot of big rap stars back in the early 2000s. You know about all this, but this is not boxing. This is not boxing. If you're running shit for LL Cool J at the MSG, bro, just because you're doing a fucking concert for LL Cool J at the MSG doesn't mean you're going to be able to promote Deontay Wilder. I think these guys need to go. I think they're bad for him.
I can see that. Yeah. You know,
I don't like them.
Well, I think that Deontay Wilder, if you look at his career has been pretty. It's been pretty guided. You know what I mean? Like I would say, like they moved him very well. You know, putting him in fights for the most part that he should win, but also at the same time keeping him active. I think that this Fury fight, the second one, really the first one, I think all of it was really a big gamble. You know, when the AJ thing fell apart and they were like, well, we're going to try to make the Fury thing happen because AJ's not playing ball. So we're going to do this. And they did it and it ended up kind of backfiring, you know. But other than that, I feel like they've handled his career relatively well for the most part. You know, I mean, we'll see what happens with him, but I mean, you know, he's getting his third fight, so obviously they had their paperwork in order because if they didn't, then this wouldn't be happening. You know, we would probably see Fury have already rolled off into the sunset and already be fighting AJ already. That fight would have definitely happened, you know. So I mean, I can't really speak much for Shelly Finkel's character or Al Heyman. I mean, these are guys that, for the most part, remain behind the scenes. But I think they've been moving his career relatively decent, you know, as far as from what I can tell, you know. I mean, let's see what happens with them. Like, if Wilder loses this fight, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle his career after that, you know.
Yeah.
If he loses.
He's like, my internet connection is not great, but I just think that like Wilder's career was handled brilliant up until about his 26th fight. He blasted that Spilker out. That guy got laid out, man.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Do you remember that fight? It was about the 8th or 9th.
How could I forget it?
Do you remember the car park when he was saying in his big Russian coat, I'm gonna do this? He got destroyed, man. He got knocked out, that guy. I just think that Wilder after that fight was managed very, very badly, and he's a big talent. He worked for the Budweiser. He used to do the deliveries out of Atlanta. His daughter was very ill. His first marriage. You can read his autobiography on the internet. I read it about a year ago. Wilder's life is amazing, you know. It's not as cut. It's not as black and white as you think. He's not had a very easy life. And as a man who's had a hard life myself, I can appreciate his life. I think he's a lovely man, Wilder. You get all this shit on the internet between all these factions that goes on. But if I'm talking from a completely boxing standpoint, pluralistically, I do think he's got a massive chance in this Fury fight. If he catches Fury in that fight, Fury's in trouble, bro. If you saw the size of him, he's a bit fat. Ripped. So Yeah, you need to watch this fight. Is key, and AJ's gone now. Would you have ever have imagined that Usyk would have beat AJ? Usyk against Wilder for the undisputed heavyweight championship.
I know I wasn't thinking about that. I know I wasn't thinking about that.
Nobody was thinking that, but it's gonna happen. I think that's gonna happen. It's gonna be Usyk against Wilder. I'm gonna put money on it because my mom. Sorry, because I've been watching. I've been drinking as well because I'm in the UK, so I was watching the AJ fight. But my mom said this. She's an old lady. She's nearly 90 years old now. And she said to me, Wilder against Usyk for the undisputed. And you know what? I think this old lady was right.
When did she say that?
She said it about 24 hours ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she put a bet on. So she told me to put a bet because she's too old now. So I had to go and write the bet in the betting shop. And she had Usyk by unanimous decision. And she's got Wilder to KO Fury in the fourth round. So
Oh wow. Okay. We're gonna have to go back to mom after this. Like, she might be right. I like those predictions.
There you go.
Read some comments real quick. G Parker says Crown Royal Reserve on me. Can't get mad at no Crown Royal. That's one of my favorites. G Parker says I hate that I missed it. Yeah, man. You missed a pretty good fight, but I mean, honestly, it wasn't one of those fights where I would have been like, I'm so glad I caught this fight. It was just like, okay, I caught the fight. It's cool. We're good. It was a good fight, but it's fine. You didn't miss a whole lot. G Parker also says I hate Wilder never learned to box. He got too confident in that stick. Yeah, he did. He definitely relies a lot on that right hand. But I mean, a lot of people criticize him for that. But hey, you got to play to your strengths. You got to play to your strengths. If you got a monster right hand, why not use it? Now I get that you wanna mask it. You don't want people to see when the right hand is coming. But at the same time, like, you can't get mad at a guy for using his gift.
He nearly dropped Fury in the second round of that second fight. If you look at Fury's face, he was marked up, and he said after that fight, he went up. Watch the rematch of the Fury Wilder second fight. Fury goes up to Wilder. He says, "Listen, you watch it back." He says, "You can hit hard." He nearly dropped him in that second round. So I don't want to sound like a drunk Englishman because I'm a bit pissed off that AJ's lost. But listen, bro, Wilder can punch, bro. If he catches AJ with a tenth of the punches that Usyk caught him, AJ's going to go to sleep in that fight.
Yeah, I see that happening too. Absolutely. It's gonna be a rough one. Let me ask you this: if AJ would have won, if he would have beaten Usyk, do you think that he would have fought the winner between Fury and Wilder 3? Do you think that he would have actually did it? No,
100% no. I just think he's AJ is a very nice guy. He knows his limitations. Him and Hearn are making money being average, so they're not up for the greatness. They're just making money at being average communicators, average operators. I don't think so. No, I think the Fury Wilder fight is happening. Fury and Wilder should never have happened. The fight should have been Wilder against AJ in 2017. And I do know, and you know as well as I know what the result would have been with that. AJ would have been picking his teeth up off the canvas, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Absolutely.
and there would have been there wouldn't have been no question about that. But the British Empire, everybody speaks English. Everybody lives the life that we live here because we have the ability to manipulate the narrative. You do know that? Do you know that about British people? We are like that.
Well, I mean, I think that's a
that's
I, th-
exactly. We're born like that.
I think that's a I think that's a global thing. I don't know. You guys are probably one of the best at it, but but I think that that's definitely, the American media also has a talent for manipulating
Yeah, true.
information. So I guess it's a part of it, but it's good when guys like us, we can sit here and we can talk objectively and really say what it is that we see instead of trying to push agendas and shit like that, because you see
Hmm.
that all over the internet, and it's like there's
Yeah.
enough of that on CNN and Fox News and all these other platforms.
I love watching it because you get the CNN and the Fox in the UK. So whenever we have a big event in America, we watch that. But I'll try to stay a bit neutral. But with boxing, it's difficult to stay neutral because obviously you're going to support your countrymen and stuff. But you have to be objective, and I got to be objective. I think if the Wilder AJ match would have happened at any time from 2016, I do think that Wilder would have knocked him out.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, about what you just said. Like, you can definitely have your guy. Like, in boxing, just like when you're watching any other sport, you're gonna have your preferences about whatever your team is or whatever your favorite player or person is or whatever, and that's fine. But you should still be able to like say, okay, speak on some level of objectivity about what's happening. But not only that, like
Yeah,
this is how you know. This is how you know when someone's a fanboy, right? If you pick someone to win, or you say this person's better than this person, right? You should be
yeah,
able to comprehensively break down how that person would win in a fight. You know, but
facts,
what a lot of
facts.
the fanboys, they can't do that. They'll just say, "Well, this person's better. That person's better." Yeah, but you can't explain how that person would win. But a real
Yeah,
fan, a real objective boxer fan should be able to do that. And that to me is like a good way to tell the difference.
yeah. A lot of it goes back to the old days, and like if you've watched a lot of the old fights, and if you've come up from an era, or even if you're young, but you've actually watched videos of the old guys, you'll get a lot more understanding of boxing than just a knockout or some sort of event. You got this Jake Paul thing, and then you got Floyd Mayweather against Conor McGregor, and then you get all these shows, KSI against Logan Paul, all this rubbish. But if you watch the actual fights back, or you go to fights, like I was at the Marvin Hagler fight against Alan Minter in 1985 with my dad,
Right.
and he's been dead now for 30 years. Long time he's been dead, my dad. But he used to have a poster of Marvin Hagler over his workbench.
Mm.
He's a carpenter, my old man was, and how old was I? I think it was about 9 or 10 years old when I think it's 1984 or 83. I think it's about 12, and stayed in a hotel in London. And I was with my mum, and she looked after me. He went to the fight with his mates, and I just think boxing's always there from a young age. You have to, if you know what's going on, you know what's going on, and I just think it's a beautiful sport, but you have to know what's going on. You can't just watch it as a casual. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Like everything, right? Like
Mm.
if you watch football, you have to have some level of understanding about what the hell's going on in the
Yeah,
game. Otherwise you're just not gonna appreciate the intricacies of the sport. You're not gonna have a real understanding of it. For me, I boxed too. I know you mentioned that you boxed, but I boxed amateur for a while. Yeah. And I have not only do I have an understanding of the sport, but I have an appreciation for what goes on in the ring. And that's one thing I think about boxing that's different from other sports, because with other sports, like basketball and football, people are able to go, not that they're able, but people take time to actually play those sports and learn them and have an appreciation for them. But with boxing, people don't necessarily step into the ring, even though they watch the sport, so they don't really know what's going on, and they speak like they don't know what the fuck's going on. So that's different.
I don't think they understand the fact, like the face. If you look at the face, it's quite small. You get punched. I think a lot of times people think that people go into the ring and just like fighting for the fun of it. People obviously fight because they over one want to get some money, two they want some recognition, and there's not much more from that. It's either money or recognition, and getting punched in the face is not fun.
No.
That ain't something that you don't want to get that. That ain't fun. So when people discuss the fact that boxing is some sort of thing you just turn up and do, it's not something that you just turn up and do. And you have fights and you fight. Like I couldn't go out of my house for about 18 months. Couldn't even walk after the fight I had. So I just think that people need to give a lot more respect to the fighters, a lot more respect to the sport, because it's not a joke, is it really? But it's our passion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. I think everybody should take at least a good body shot. You know what I mean? Like that would
Why in the gut?
That will really humble you. Like the level of understanding will go up so much, man. A good liver shot, and then you'll understand immediately.
That would just finish. That would finish me off now.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Nothing hurts like those good body shot. Nothing hurts quite like that.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, and then I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream. But let me ask you this: now that this has happened, right?
Yeah, go on.
AJ has taken the loss. When do you think we see Undisputed in heavyweight division at this point?
Wow, that's an excellent question. That is an absolutely amazing question. Wow, I think it's more on than it weren't. I think maybe Usyk now. It's obviously on now, isn't it? I think Usyk might fight the winner of Wilder. Why are we even having this silly? Could you imagine Usyk against Wilder or fucking Fury? This is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're talking about this, and we haven't even fully coming down from the high of watching AJ.
I'm still drinking booze.
Yeah, yeah. I know we still haven't fully processed it, but fuck it, we're gonna go ahead and go there. And
shit!
Try to assess it the best way we can.
What do you want me to predict in that? Do you want me to predict the fight, bro?
Well, okay. Well, all of the above. So tell me when Undisputed happens. So when do you think we'll get an Undisputed fight? And who do you think will be in that Undisputed fight at this point?
I reckon it's going to be Usyk against Wilder. Something strange is going to happen, bro. Something strange is going to happen, man.
The two underdogs fighting it out for Undisputed.
I do think that's true, yeah. Something weird's gonna happen, man. I think that guy's gonna get knocked out in the first 2 or 3 rounds as well.
Oh wow.
There is something weird gonna happen. There's something weird gonna happen. Like I've got a place that I go on holiday in Morecambe, and that's up by where Fury lives. Because I live about 110 miles from where Fury lives. It's not far. I live in Birmingham, which is the second city in the UK. Birmingham, England, Birmingham, Alabama, similar thing. Fury's lives on the coast, that man. So I live in a big city, but he lives on the coast. I personally think he's not been training. I've been speaking to people that know him, and he's not been doing much training. So this Wilder Fury fight, I'm going Wilder for that fight. Well, I do think it's going to happen, and I personally think that this guy's not training, but we've not seen a face-off yet or press conference.
That's true. That's
What do
true.
you what
what
do you think will happen? What do you think?
I like your prediction. I think your prediction is gonna be close to what I'm thinking. I think Wilder will be in one of those fights. I think it would be Wilder, but I'm not sold on Usyk winning the second fight. I think AJ has a shot to beat Usyk in that second fight. But
that was a weird that first fight was weird. I personally think that when you send a guy out with loads of pomp and circumstance, there's a guy called Edwin Elgar in the UK which wrote our national anthem. It's called Pomp and Circumstance. It's God Save the Queen. So when AJ goes out, they put Pomp and Circumstance on. You can tell I'm English now, can't you, the way I'm talking? He's changed a bit, hasn't he? you can tell now, can't you?
The accent was always there, but it got a little thicker just now. Yeah, absolutely.
But they always send AJ out to do the man's has to go out and do all this fucking pomp and circumstance bullshit that they get him to go out and do. Listen, Mike Tyson used to come out in a pair of black shorts and black fucking socks, bro. This motherfucker used to come out and start fucking banging on people in his underpants, man. And you got this AJ guy. They got him coming out to this big circus show. I think AJ should leave her. Do you know where I think AJ should go?
Where?
Al Heyman.
Al Heyman. I should have known. Yeah, it makes sense for him to go to Al Heyman at this point in his career because he would build up his fan base a little bit more because Al Heyman would get him some exposure over here in the United States.
Yeah. I've been saying it for years.
Well, hopefully it's not too late at this point, because if AJ loses to Usyk again,
he's done, bro. This guy should have gone to Heyman after the foot. Listen, you're fighting Ruiz, which is Heyman's underling, to Wilder. You lost to the underling. Listen, Hearn's not going to get you anywhere into the American market. He just got you beat up in New York. You got beat up in Madison Square Garden, bro. How that's the most embarrassing thing that you could ever have.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, that's the gateway to America, and you couldn't even get in there. So this motherfucker got beat in fucking Madison Square Garden. He got his ass handed to him, and then he had to take Ruiz over to fucking Jeddah in Saudi Arabia for a fucking rematch. Saudi Arabia's British anyway, because obviously Britain runs the Muslims. I'm from Britain, but obviously we run them. So you had to take him over there to lose, and he ran for 12 rounds. He should have gone to Heyman quite early on in his career and left Hearn. Hearn was just making money out of AJ, in my opinion.
Well, I think that's definitely a thought. I think AJ though, I think Hearn has definitely. I don't know if I would say that he should have left Hearn early on because I think he did pretty well with Eddie Hearn. I think Hearn guided AJ's career pretty well for the most part. I think he made a lot of money with Eddie Hearn. I think he's made more money with Eddie Hearn than Wilder has made with Al Heyman. So if you're a money person, I think he did a little bit better money wise. But actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, you may have a point because to me, with the fan base that AJ has, he should have made more money. You know?
Yeah. I just think that, like, if you're not going to break into the American market, you ain't doing shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a big part of the sport. You know what I mean? But I guess the grass always greener too because UK fans support their fighters much more than American fans do. Like American fans, like Wilder was I think Wilder has what 10 title defenses over
He does,
here
yeah.
with the WBC, and
Yeah.
and the support he gets from the US fans is abysmal. AJ has far more support in the UK than Wilder has over here in the States. Even though Wilder does have some support here, I don't think it's just different.
Yeah.
So
I think it's best to break into America than not, though. If you want a legacy, music industry, film industry, celebrity industry, money industry, economics, it's the big five. Even if you're not gonna make a name for yourself in your own country, you have to go to America to do something. So
yeah, we're by far, I think, the bigger consumers when it comes to entertainment and that sort of thing.
yeah,
So it sounds terrible. It is terrible.
that's a good thing. It's okay. It's okay. It's not
I
bad.
mean, it's not
I
a
live
big,
in the UK.
it's not really a good thing though, right? Because
No, but I live in the UK. That's a great thing. I'm not going to argue.
I just mean that we consume a lot of entertainment, and so if you're a celebrity, you're probably gonna do well, because of all the entertainment that we consume. But yeah, it is what it is, man. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the stream up right now, man. Big UK, man, it was a pleasure speaking to you, man. I'm hoping you'll join me on another stream. I'll be doing it in the very, very, very near future.
Word up, bro. No, thanks for having me on, man.
No problem at all, man. You got any final thoughts you want to close out with?
Yeah, man. I just think, like, in terms of the boxing at the moment, I think we need to we need to take it to a level where there's going to be the fights made. Every level of boxing now needs things to go to actually getting people that are going to be undisputed. And let's give a shout out to Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I know I don't want to waffle on, but let's give him a shout out. He's never ducked anyone. He's fought a lot of fights. He always says he's a bit of an amateur. Joshua's never said that it was some sort of world beater. He only started boxing at the age of 17 or 18 years old. So let's give a bit of respect to Joshua. He's obviously come, he's lost. He's not like Lennox Lewis. Lewis started boxing when he was like a kid. He was like, what, 9 years old? So let's give some respect to Anthony Joshua, and let's hope that we get back to a place in boxing where we're gonna watch fights and just enjoy our lives. Just enjoy our lives. That's it.
All right, man. That's what's up. You're absolutely right, man. I agree with you 1,000%. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here, man. If anybody's new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. And we'll be back for another one next time. Thank you, guys. Peace.